If peel is really easy, are we getting the detail that we need in order to have
it's easy because you aren't writing as much.
Exactly.
We're getting detail, but we're not getting that. Alarms better.
That's right.
You have more of a structure, more of a step by step of what I like.
Yeah.
I feel like alarms more asking you what to do specifically rather than peels just like you gotta
Chuckling into one
example explain, but it's like you go through the steps and it gives you a more thorough.
And like those are the things that you should add when you're like naming it, explaining it.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're making sure you're getting all the information that you need in order to have a sophisticated response. What were you going to say?
I was not doing as well as I hoped I was doing.
And yeah, it wasn't like clear what I was trying to say, I think.
Very messy and missing out on crucial details.
I really struggle getting my ideas into like a succinct paragraph.
My writing would be very plain and it would not make any sense. It wouldn't be very formal and structured well.
I feel like it was just a bunch of sentences on the topic and wasn't really structured together.
I'd have trouble finishing it, and then the last few paragraphs would just not have any like meaning or anything, and like I wouldn't get what I want to get through.
Because I sort of find it hard to, articulate the ideas I have in writing.
This one forces you to consider different aspects.
Yeah, because like it says point, but that could mean a lot of things. Like that one has like name and describe. Like it sort of just expands it more, so you can break it down.
Point.
It have it bite-sized pieces.
Yeah. If you've got a student who feels like they don't know what to say about a subject, Alarm allows them to sort of work through stages to develop an expanded and sophisticated response. Someone like yourself who does have an expanded response, Alarm might force you into a state of brevity where you are sort of saying, hitting those checkpoints and making sure what you're saying is really focused and targeted. So it would allow you to sort of get a more succinct response by using these things. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It has improved my writing by allowing me to give more depth in my paragraphs and sentences.
It made it easier to understand like essay structures and things like that. So
Yeah, I've seen improvement when writing paragraphs and essays and everything.
Because it's deepened my understanding very, very much in English in general throughout all texts, and it's just made me better at English, I believe.
It's much more like clear what I'm trying to say, and like I've got the ideas of what I want to write about just like in my head, and then that just comes out in the paper in a much more like clear essay.
it helped me to find the answers that I never thought of before. Like when I see the question, like I think about every step of the whatever we're learning and trying to find the answers. It was easier when it came to writing an essay.
Yeah, when I'm seeing the ideas and how they fit in, and I just gain knowledge and understanding on those ideas, and I see them in the text, examples of them, that's when I go, I'm understanding this, and this can help me.
It's helped me break down my paragraphs and give more depth to my writing. It's made me focus on one point instead of just writing heaps of random words on the page. It's more focused and formal and structured well.
At first it was a little daunting, you could say, because I didn't understand it, but I honestly think Alarm has helped me because it has helped me structure my writing a lot better now, and I enjoy writing more now. I never used to like it because I wouldn't get good marks, but now with having Alarm, I think it's helped me fill in those areas where I needed more in-depth words in it, and it's just helped me make more of a formal or sophisticated writing?
Oh, I did really well. I got full marks, which I was pretty proud of, and yeah, managed to get a good result. And I just felt using the alarm flowchart, it allowed me to prepare a lot easier for the essay rather than before when I've had to write essays. It's been a lot of A4 planning sheets and a bit of chaos, and will I be able to answer the question? Is what I've got down on my techniques going to back up what I'm going to write about, and is it all going to tie in and actually flow and make sense? But with the alarm flowchart, it wasn't the usual groan of, oh, we've got an essay. It was more, yeah, alright, I'll be able to find out what I'm going to write, put it down on the paper, and then walk into the test knowing that what I've actually prepared for is actually going to get me the mark I wanted. And it did, which was pretty pleasing. And
just to recap on this flowchart, because again we talked about this last lesson, to encourage to answer this question, you're going to be looking at what is basically your answer. Now, the focus I talked about with the guys yesterday was greatest. Alright, so your answer might focus a bit more on that word. Is it the greatest story ever told? Or you might be questioning whether it is love or not.
First, when I see the alarm chart, I went like, what is this? And it was the hardest part was when I look at the first question and trying to find the answer for the first question. So the start was the hardest part, but once you start it, it gets easier step by step.
That's the engage bit where you're finding the things that support you best. So you might need to get up and get plays in a minute. You will only focus on those three things that we've looked at though, but if you might be looking for quotes or something like that.
When he first introduced it, why do I have to be so specific, and what if I don't have any ideas? But now, through the alarm flowchart, I found it often helps, and to be more specific, it actually helps you later on when you come to conclude and to tie everything up.
Enrich, what is the effect on the audience? What does it highlight for them? So once you've gone through that process, think really, what do you think it highlights? You've tended to not be very confident in that one. And the next one, this is the big kind of educated guess for you. That yesterday, it was really interesting the educated guess people made. Enrich is what elements of the text context contribute to its effectiveness. So you need to think about, in its time, what is Shakespeare doing here that makes this play so good?
When he gives you like the first question, you have to coming up with the ideas sometimes a bit hard on like something that'd be good to write on. That's pretty much the only thing I have trouble with. Yeah.
It does take time though, because I did find it hard, but I've only just started to really understand it.
In alarm chart, there are a lot of questions that makes you to think more about your own answer, to try to get more opinion about, trying to get explanations about your answer. So I think it helps you to put more information in it, as every English teacher wants it from you.
So the last question here is, how is this text in this little study here broadened and deepened your understanding of Shakespeare's authority or greatness? So by answering that question, you've then developed a more complex answer already that you might want to go and add more information to. So that one is where I think the biggest focus is for Spectacularly Fail, is coming up with something in there that you think is really true about Shakespeare, just based on what you've done.
Like everyone that's offered to alarm, I think it would make the whole year more advanced when writing like HSC and stuff like that.
Definitely the alarm flowchart.
Yes, definitely.
If it has the effect that it has on me, which is good of course, I feel like why shouldn't it be used in all schools?